So the topic of today's story is change the method. When our Buddha was not the Buddha yet, we called him Prince Siddhartha. He was just a regular prince. And he had a family. He had a beautiful wife who was very good to him. He had a father who was the king of the city and the country. Well, one day he went out to visit the city of a big city. And then he saw people sick and he saw people dying. And then he got really scared because he didn't want his wife to die. He didn't want to die. He saw how painful it looked and it looked really scary. So when he came home that day, he was so scared of death and dying and being sick. And then that very day, his son was born. When the day that his son was born, he looked at his wife and his son. Both of them were so beautiful and he loved them so much. And all he could think about was, one day they're gonna die. I don't want them to die. So this is the first lesson right here. Instead of crying and whining and complaining, what did he do? He went and tried to find a way. He's like, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to change it, but I'm gonna try. So on that day, he decided to leave his family and go look for a way to protect them from death and suffering. So he left. He went into the forest, cut off all his hair, wore some monk robes, and decided to train his butt off and try to become so smart or so knowledgeable so he could protect his family that he loved so much. Now, he met his first teacher. He says, you know what? I want help, but I don't know how to do this. So what do I need? I need a teacher. So he went to the most famous teacher in that whole country and said, hey, can you teach me how to become enlightened so I can learn how to avoid death and avoid suffering? And the teacher says, yeah, I'll teach you what I know. So the teacher taught him all these things. And he practiced so hard. Every day he trained and practiced and practiced and trained. But guess what? Did he become enlightened? No. He asked the teacher, teacher, I did all the homework. I did all the tests. I know everything you teach me, but I'm not enlightened. What else do you have to teach me? And the teacher says, nope, that's it. You already finished. You graduate already. Let's be teachers together. Let's open a new school together and get famous and rich. And Prince Siddhartha says, well, I want to save my wife. I want to save my kid. I don't want to die. I don't want to suffer. And if I already finished and I didn't finish, then I need to change. So that was the second time that he changed the method. The first time he was just a regular prince and he became a monk to try to learn to find a new way. Then when he became a monk student and it didn't work, he changed again. Then he went to the second most famous teacher and the same thing happened. He learned everything and the teacher had nothing else to teach him. So what did he do? He went off to try to do it himself. He met these 5 monks who were practicing self-torture and he practiced with them. And once again, he didn't succeed. So what did he do? He tried again. And this time, he figured out the method of how to think and how to contemplate properly to become the Buddha. Then he became enlightened and became the Buddha. So can you notice that in this case, how many times did he change the way? How many times did he change his method? He changed it once when he was a prince to become a monk. He changed it twice when there's 2 different teachers. He changed it again when he had the 5 students. And then he changed it again when that didn't work. So what is the moral of this story? If you want something, if you want to succeed, if you want to be happy, you have to keep trying. But if you keep trying the same thing and it doesn't work, what do you have to do? You have to change and try a new technique. And that's how you win. You can win in school, you can win in video games, you can win in life. If you know how to keep fighting and changing. Don't just give up because it's hard. Keep trying. But if it doesn't work, change your method. Does that make sense? Satu?